Dvorak?
Yes.
Mordini?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes. Motion carries. Item 4 is public comments. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council on any matter at this time? Hearing none or seeing none, moving on to item 5, consent agenda. I would take a motion.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Questions? Roll call?
Sarchet?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Dvorak?
Yes.
Mordini?
Yes. Motion carries. I would like to pay quick attention to item 11 and the hiring of our new police officer, Scott Bentley. I think you all met him. If you didn't, it's our new officer in the back, and he'll be starting March 2nd. March 2nd. He's coming right up. So congratulations. Welcome aboard. Thank you, sir. Looking forward. Item 6, new business. Action item 1. The 2015 Grand Marshal of the Polk City Four Seasons Festival Parade. 2016, sorry. Yeah, well, I would hate to misspeak on that. Mr. Greg Edwards with the Des Moines CVB.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, City Council, Mr. City Manager, and beloved public. He follows me everywhere. Yeah.
Follows everybody.
He follows everybody.
Good, good. That's good.
Not just you.
Citizen. Okay. I don't need to get paranoid about this. Last year was a great year for the visitor industry throughout the metro area, and it was especially a great year for me because not only was I the Grand Marshal of the Polk City Parade, I was Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Des Moines. So it was a big year in my parade life, you know. Got a little carpal tunnel from waving so much, but in the visitor industry, it really was a great year. We hosted March Madness last year for the first time in the history of the Des Moines area. Had some major convention groups in last year, and we're off to a great start again this year. So happy to give you my annual report. I think you're all familiar with our mission. Our mission is simply to bring more visitors to the metro area. Visitors being meetings, conventions, sporting events, leisure travelers, business travelers, etc. A little mood lighting to help you out. We, of course, are funded through a couple different ways, but primarily through hotel motel tax. We receive 2/7 of that tax from 15 different municipalities throughout the metro, and we certainly appreciate our partnership with Polk City. We also have private sector sponsorships and partnerships with over 600 private sector partners out there. 21 of those are what we consider our corporate partners, which are large corporations that contribute anywhere from $3,500 on up on an annual basis. 9 of those partners are located right here in Polk City. I'm happy to report. Hotel room inventory. You're all aware that the metro area has just boomed really in the last 5 years as far as hotel rooms go. Really from this year into next year, this chart shows we're going to grow by another 300 rooms, but in actuality, we've got about 11,000 open hotel rooms right now. We're going to be close to 12,000 by mid-year 2018. There's projects throughout the area. You know, downtown Des Moines will be opening the new Hilton, which is attached to the convention center. That'll open in April of 2018 with 330 rooms. They just opened the AC Marriott Hotel in the East Village. There are, I believe, 5 hotel projects in the works for West Des Moines right now, 1 in Urbandale. There's 2 in Altoona. There's 3 in Ankeny. I mean, they're just popping up all over, which is becoming somewhat of a concern because we certainly don't want to get into an overbuilt situation. But obviously, that just puts more pressure on our job to keep those rooms occupied with bringing in more events to the community. Still target basically 4 different markets. The meeting and convention planners market. We'll be leaving Wednesday to Washington, D.C., where we attend an annual trade show called Destination Showcase, which is a large trade show that lures about 1,500 meeting planners from the D.C. area, ranging from the American Association of Realtors to the American Teachers of Mathematics, all kinds of different groups will attend this show that we'll be at. Sporting and event planners, another great market for us, done very well in the sports industry. One of our sports salespeople just was in Colorado Springs last week, calling on all the different Olympic governing bodies of sports in that market as well, which we do a couple of those trips a year, as well as a couple trips into Indianapolis a year, calling on the NCAA and other sporting national groups there as well. The leisure travel market really has continued to grow tremendously over the years as really the entire metro area has kind of come to age, and people recognize that Des Moines is a great place to come and spend a weekend, take mini vacations, lots of things to do, from the cultural arts to entertainment districts and restaurants, etc. And then locals. We're trying to do a better job of really marketing to the locals to let them know how important it is to have them involved. We wouldn't be half successful as we are if we didn't have local people coming to the table saying, hey, I'm a member of the Methodist Church National Board or a National Association Board, what have you. That local contact goes a long way. So we've got a lot of programs in the works to further educate people in that area as well. Some of our significant bookings from last year, you see the different niches that we reach out into, from the religious market to the corporate market. Chamber of Commerce executives is one of the first bookings that we booked for the new hotel that will be in July of 2018. And that's really a coup, and that's a big thanks to Jay Byers from the Greater Des Moines Partnership as well, who helped lure that group in here. But you'll have 1,000 chamber people from all over the country coming into the Des Moines Metro, which is a pretty cool thing. One of the things you're probably most interested in is the International Baby Wearing Conference. That does not mean you walk around wearing babies. Well, I guess you kind of do. But some of the younger mothers probably can relate to that. I certainly couldn't. This is what you see with the young kids, and they've got their babies in straps, and I don't know what you call it, harnesses, or help me out, women.
It's not harness, I can tell you.
It's not a harness. That would be child abuse, but you know what I'm saying.
Careful.
But there's going to be 1,000 of them here actually next summer too, if you're interested in popping in on that. Just a couple leads. We have 138 leads out there right now that we are working hard on. A lead means it's in the form that they've said, yes, we will consider the metro area, and we've actually sent proposals out at this stage and are waiting on decisions. Just a small sample on the convention side, Christian Church Disciples of Christ, which would be a huge win for the metro. It's about 6,000 people, 8,200 hotel room nights. The NAACP convention, we went to Cincinnati last spring and bid on that. We lost 2018 to Charlotte, North Carolina, but we're in the running, and they really like what they see about Des Moines. They're going to come out here in the next 30 to 45 days to take a closer look, to look at our convention center space and things like that. On the sports side, you can see some of the sports booking we have secured. The NCCA is the National Christian College Athletic Association. Their basketball championships, which will actually be played in Ankeny next month. And some of the significant things we're working on in April, if we have booked a future date with them, and we've bid on, actually it's years of 19, 20, 21, and 22. But we feel pretty good about that at this stage. We've had a lot of interaction since our bid went in actually last August. State Games of America, we have now booked. That was in conjunction with Chuck Long's group, the Iowa State Games. That's going to be a huge coup, again, for the Metro, not until 2021. And professional disc golf, we're working on a national championship with them as well. Just some numbers to throw at you. 561 meeting planners we actually had face-to-face time with last year during trade shows, sales calls, etc. Last year we generated 436 leads. We have 138 leads, as I mentioned earlier, still in the works. 166 leads of those 436 last year were lost, meaning they came back and said, hey, we selected Kansas City or another city for some reason or another. 279 leads actually turned into book business from last year as well. We had 74 planners that actually came in and did a personal site visit, and 279 events were secured by our organization, creating an impact of over $76 million. We continue to market, as I mentioned earlier, to the leisure travel, convention planners, sports market, and of course to our locals. We've changed a lot in our marketing. It continually changes, doing a lot more digitally. We do a lot of stuff on Facebook. We do a lot of stuff on Twitter. Just all those kind of new wave type marketing venues that are out there today. Some of the social media numbers, we have now 21,000 new social media followers this past year, which was a 37% increase over the previous year, and 155% increase in social media altogether. Media-wise, we still reach out and contact a lot of national media and regional media to write stories about the metro area. We had 180 stories secured last year, 65 in regional and national or trade publications. And compared to other CVBs in our industry, we run about 4% higher than any of our competitors out there on our open rates, on our e-newsletters. And our retention rate with our partners is 96%. Booking-wise, these are all the bookings, and I think I explained last year to you that we really break down our bookings into single property bookings. So we not only concentrate on the big citywide kind of conventions, but we're also concerned with all this hotel growth. So we booked 231 pieces of business that would fit in hotels with less than 249 rooms. We booked 35 pieces of businesses that needed multi-properties from 250 to 799 rooms, and then 13 pieces of business, what we call citywide conventions or sporting events with 800 plus room nights. Bottom line, again, we booked $76 million worth of business last year, so for every dollar of hotel tax we receive, we return over $16 back for your return on investment. With that, I'm happy to answer questions, take comments, or we can just take a nap.
I like that idea.
Greg, one thing that when you mentioned you had the bar graph up there on the room nights as it's grown, and you mentioned a couple of hotels in downtown and then like 5 in West Des Moines and Altoona. I'm sort of assuming that makeup of Des Moines versus suburbs, and I'm not talking about us necessarily, but as that's changed in some of the suburbs, West Des Moines, Altoona, can have grown with the number of hotels that they have. Maybe this is an ignorant question because I'm not sure how your organization is structured, but have you been more involved with those suburbs, or is it Des Moines and everybody else sort of, is it still that way where most of your hotels are Des Moines and therefore you primarily work with Des Moines and then partner out, or is it?
No, it's really a mix, because our philosophy is to fill one pocket of the metro area. So if we fill West Des Moines, for instance, with a soccer tournament on a weekend, everybody else is going to feel the impact of that. Same way with downtown Des Moines. If we fill it with the Iowa Event Center with a major convention, everybody else will feel that impact as well. So yeah, I mean, we work closely really with all the communities. Our philosophy has always been, we don't really care where it books.
Yeah.
It's really up to the hotels. Once we send the lead out, because we never tell a meeting planner, hey, you really ought to look at the Marriott downtown, or we will tell the meeting planner, and then it's up to the hotels really to fight and book that business.
Okay. And I think where we're at, the 2.7 tax is certainly well served. I'm just curious if as that's grown for like a West Des Moines or something, has there, I'm just imagining how it works around the area. Is there we've been sending you this and it's grown to this and our voice needs to be heard a little bit. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's-
we hear that. We most definitely. We hear that from West Des Moines. We hear that from Ankeny. Yeah, you know, they definitely want to make sure we're watching them, and we certainly are.
And your point is obviously right, that we're working together on this.
And everybody's equal, yeah.
High tide raises all boats type of thing, so.
Ron,
I'm just wondering, I saw on there that the National Disc Golf Championship comes, and it comes every year, and 2 of those rounds are played, one at Big Creek and one just across the lake. And I wonder what we need to do to get the word out here that we have rooms available in Polk City and restaurants, and because I've gone and watched, I think, 3 years. I didn't go last year, but there's probably 100 entrance. I don't think they're probably aware that we now have a motel in Polk City and they can book this.
Well, they certainly should be, and I will double check that with our sports people tomorrow when I get to the office. But they would have whenever we do a sporting event like that, we will send them all the nearest hotels, all the nearest restaurants, and that kind of information. But I'm 95% sure you're on the docket there.
Thank you.
thanks for coming out, and also on a personal note, thanks for being on Channel 13 on Saturday morning and talking about the dinosaur show that was down at the Iowa Event Center that I was lucky enough to attend yesterday
Kids
with my
made you
son.
go.
Yes, so I appreciate you
Sorry.
planting the bug in their ear and me getting to attend yesterday. So I thank you for that.
Did you ride one?
No, I avoided riding one, but I have pictures of my son riding one. The countless bounce houses and everything else that event was. But that being said, I will say for 11 o'clock or 10:30 yesterday morning, the Iowa Event Center parking lot was absolutely packed at
Really?
10:30 on Sunday. They had a dance competition and the deal going on, but some other stuff. But I mean, there wasn't a place to be had. And clearly that hotel is going to have a big impact when all of that's done down there.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, it's been a couple big weekends. Well, wrestling, of course,
Yeah,
I think they broke some personal records again with attendance.
really.
With that, girls basketball this week is looking like it's going to be great attendance too. So good stuff.
Yep. And when is that hotel scheduled to open? Somebody asked me.
April of 18.
April 18th.
Yeah, and they're right on schedule. They have now hired there's a director of sales on board, and they've just hired a general manager as well. So
Nice.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it a lot.
continued partnership. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Item 2, consider motion to approve proposed FY 17-18 budget and set public hearing for March 13th, 2017. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
DeVore? Mordini?
Yes. Motion carries. Item 3, consider motion to approve resolution 2017-13, approving preliminary plat for Deer Haven Plat 3. Kathleen? Or, oh,
Look, I'm Justin, Cooper Crawford and Associates in West Des Moines, Iowa. And just up here, if you guys have any additional questions regarding the plat, since our last meeting, we have worked together, all any differences we had and things that needed to be improved on the plat to make everyone happy. So.
Yeah, that's true. P&Z's recommendation included adding some additional fill in the front of the southeast lot would be, I can't remember which.
3 and 4.
Yeah, and so they did add that. In the meantime, they also, we worked with them in terms of what their benchmark that they were using to make sure that the ponding elevation from the U.S. Corps of Engineers, that they were copacetic in terms of what those relative elevations were, so.
questions or comments? Yes.
Just out of curiosity, there seemed to be, and I could have been just blanking on some of this, a pretty big gap from the last time we've seen anything in Deer Haven until now. And
Yes.
is that planned, or are we getting going in earnest here this spring, or?
We are. That was getting our data coordinated and figured out, because this is plat 3 of 3 plats. So we just took our time to make sure everything was working good and communicating with Snyder. So we want to make sure we tie into the rest of the city.
Yep. Yeah, that's two.
That makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I've also heard some concerns, people worried that the project's installed or
That it would?
installed or was not going
Oh,
forward. So
no, not at all.
there's a lot of people concerned about that, so.
No.
Just the developer has contacted our inspection folks and kind of talked about getting started again this spring, so.
Perfect.
Go by that.
All right, thank you.
Perfect. I take a motion.
Motion to approve resolution 2017-13.
Second.
Roll call.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thanks for coming out. Item 4, consider motion to approve resolution 2017-1400 approving agreement with North Polk Schools for sprinkler system at West Elementary. If you want to comment to that real quick?
Yes, very quickly for the council, this is the agreement that was drawn up due to the site plan for the school, which requires a sprinkler system within the next 7 years in the school. The school board has approved this. The signed copy of the agreement was to be here by tonight. My recommendation to council, if they would like to move this forward, would be to go ahead and approve the agreement pending the signed agreement being delivered by the school.
Questions? Concerns, comments? Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Motion carries. Item 5, consider of approving agreement between the City of Polk City and chauffeurs, teamsters, and helpers located in 238 for the period of July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2018, and authorizing and directing the signing of the same.
Very quickly, this is protected under Chapter 20.17, Corinthians 3 of the Code of Iowa. Under a separate cover, this information has been sent to you. This is a one-year agreement, and this, under the new bargaining laws of the state, this would also include or not include dues checkoff, as has been the case in the past.
Questions, discussion, motion?
So moved. Second.
Second, you're doing a good job. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 6, consider a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 2017-300, rezoning 4.2 acres from commercial C2 to planned unit development PUD. Take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Motion carries. Item 7, consider a motion to approve third reading of ordinance 2017-200, amending water and sewer rates.
So moved.
Second. Roll call. Oh, did you have anything?
No.
Oh, I just thought you were
No.
punchy. Go ahead.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet. Lane,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7, Mayor's Report. Just a couple quick things on my end. I want to publicly thank staff for all your work on this. This went out, in case anybody didn't see, it's made the rounds. This is basically a very condensed version of the 16-page document that Gary put together. Jenny, Becky, Gary, and Jake, and others kind of took a harebrained idea and made it into something. So this has been floating around out there. It's a nice one-pager. Kind of really gives a good breakdown of everything that we have going on. I know Jake sent it out in all the various formats over the weekend, and I saw that it hit Polk City Square today. So, but again, thank you guys for your work on that. Yeah, we are fancy. I just hear this now. I don't know if everybody's aware, but he's typically here, and he's not tonight. And our vice president of the chamber, Brian Nelson, had a little health scare, and so if he's watching, but anyway, I want to wish him well because I know he had a little health scare, and I think he is home. But anyway, and lastly, just to kind of make a quick mention of all the stuff going on down at the State House. It seems right now that we are discussing things between Gary and I and others almost on a daily basis right now, and we're watching and monitoring very carefully what's going on down there. We've had a couple emails and questions from residents regarding certain things, and until the bill becomes law, we're really not going to take any action on anything as far as from where we're at locally, whether it's fireworks, whether it's Des Moines Waterworks, whether it's minimum wage, whether it's collective bargaining, whether it's anything at this point. There's just a lot of things in play. We're monitoring it very closely, and obviously more to come as things continue to move. But I think until anything is actually signed into law, we're not going to take any action here. We're trying to have some conversations with people as we need to behind the scenes, and we'll leave it at that. Councilman Mordini.
I have nothing.
Mr. Sargent.
I'm just going to echo your comments a little bit and going through the MAC meeting, and it seems to change on a daily basis on all the things going on down at the State House. But local option sales tax has come up in different forms again, and I think being pushed through different avenues. There's a couple of communities that are going to push and push and push until some sort of change is made. And so I think that and we'll get into this, I guess, in the further discussions on the budget, but we're in a good position given what little we know at this point, and need to adjust accordingly depending on the changes that come. So that's all I have.
You're not last this time.
No, I'm not, but I really don't have anything to comment on other than I'm just happy to be here or anywhere. On Valentine's morning, I was coming home after dropping my wife off at DMAC, and at 35th Street, somebody decided they were going to go back to Polk City and made a U-turn right in front of me. I hit them at 55 miles an hour.
Uh-huh.
So when Ford talks about 5-star safety rating, they're not joking. Walked away, we both walked away from it.
Wow.
So, anyway.
Glad you're here.
Yep, that's all.
Ron?
I appreciated Gary's words about the motels, but I think we need to do a little more. This is really a big event, a big deal. People come from all over the United States, Canada, that I don't know who wants to work on it, but get the word out there. I don't know if they put a packet out similar to Ragbri that we could get our local businesses advertised in that packet and try and draw those people in and get them to stop instead of just driving from Big Creek to the other side of the lake to play golf to spend some money in Polk City.
I'll have our chamber person that's working over there contact Sheila.
Good. I don't know. It's the Des Moines Disc Golf Association sponsors it.
Yep.
So that'd be and I'd also like to say the sprinkler system at the school, I think that's pretty groundbreaking, isn't it? I think for a change, we're on the cutting edge, and it's nice to be leading the charge, and thank everybody for all the work they put in there. I know there's a lot of parents who are going to really appreciate that.
And the other side of it is it's a good win for the neighbors to the south.
Yeah.
And as a Wells Fargo employee, I can tell you that commercial structures do start on fire.
Well, that's good to hear.
Hey.
That's all I have.
Okay.
I'd like to welcome Officer Bentley here again as well. And that was really all I had. Just want to make sure that we're glad to have you on board and forward to work with you.
Perfect. Council discussion. Ron, I did have one question because you and I played phone tag a little bit. Did you go to the Mid-American Energy substation meeting that was?
No.
No, okay.
No, I was
Nope, no problem. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I meant to ask you beforehand.
Well,
but did we get any report on how that went?
Yes, Lindsay went for Polk City.
Perfect.
And
It was more geared towards the property owners, telling them their rights. It was a hearing in front of the Iowa Utility Board, and they held it here instead of in Des Moines. And now, after that meeting, the Mid-American Energy can now start talking to the affected property owners and start the process of getting a easement, if I remember correctly.
But still on track.
And compensating them.
Was there a lot of people there?
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
full.
when I drove past it, it looked like there was parking all the way up the street, so I was kind of
It was
curious.
full. I didn't realize it affected so many homeowners.
Interesting. I'm going to ask about that, and he and I played phone tag.
And the concern was around that, just the affected properties and less from
Everybody was okay. Oh, did you want to add, Cliff?
If something, Fred Crocker talked about running the line through there, out there,
Oh, okay.
messing up with his farmers.
Yeah. City Administrator report.
First, welcome, Scott. Thank you. Now, if you can get through the swearing-in ceremony, everything will be fine. Look forward to having you on staff. Those that don't know it, we moved the conference room. The conference room is now my old office, which means I have a new office, and it has a bigger window. So if you can put two and two together, you just figured out we moved things. The conference room's a lot larger, it's more accommodating, and we plan to use it more.
Can I ask a question? How's your back after that move?
Oh, my back was great.
Yeah, just making sure.
Randy's made it not been so good.
Okay. Okay. I was just checking. You were saying we, and I know where
Well,
you
there was a lot of weeds.
Okay, okay. Just curious.
Somebody had to plan it out,
Oh, okay, all right.
and that wasn't me either.
Okay. Oh, I think we're just differing opinions from down. Just throwing it out there. Yeah, exactly.
Also, a reminder, April 7th is our recognition event at TCI. That's Friday. That will be coming up quickly. You should have received a save the date notice on email. You will also be getting a paper invitation here in the near future. Mary?
Attorney's report.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Engineer,
There's nothing you're on.
Public Works.
All I gotta say is it's been a great winter as far as not done.
You better start knocking on some wood, buddy. I thought the rule was is we weren't supposed to talk about that. That's, yeah.
Girls
It's
say
almost
tournament
March.
week too.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
almost March.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
all-
All right.
It's kind of like you don't talk to the pitcher when he's had a perfect game.
Yeah.
It's been a great winter so far.
Yeah,
I'll
so
just
far.
put it that way.
Anything else?
No.
Technology.
Just a quick, in the packet for tonight, you'll find a memo on the annual IDOT street inventory and the U.S. Census Bureau boundary and annexation surveys that we do annually. They were completed as recently as last week. In fact, it was the U.S. Census that we completed just here this last week. Basically affects Polk City, including benefits with federal functional classification planning studies, project loan studies, traffic flow maps, as well as federal funds that annually are distributed off of these inventories as well. That include programs such as infrastructure programs, services, basically everything that is based off of that Census Bureau data. So this actually marks the 6th year that we've been able to run or complete these inventories with Polk City's GIS software and equipment, and it's going pretty well.
Thanks for the update. Jake,
Yes.
nice mount.
Thank you.
Did a nice job.
Just don't call it a fair one.
Okay, all right. Finance,
Nothing.
Fire Department,
No report, all's good.
Police Department.
Finally got our new reporting format down, so if anybody has any comments for me, I'd welcome them, or critiques or something you want to see different. We have some more pictures just to kind of document what we're doing with photography too for trainings and for events and things like that. But yeah, unless somebody has any objections, that's kind of the format it'll take from now on. If you see anything, a couple months go by, you see something, you don't see something there you want to see in it, just let me know.
library, neighborhood citizens. I would take a motion to adjourn.
I would make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.